Welcome to Voice Bootcamp, a global name in unified communication. Hello, my name is Faisal Khan, CEO and founder of VoiceBootcamp.com. In this series Do-It-Yourself Kit for Cisco UCCE, we're going to talk about the PCCE deployment. So PCCE, which is basically a package UCCE solutions for a company that have either 2,000 agent or less than 2,000 agent. It is designed to provide a full call center redundant solutions with minimum investment in hardware and resources. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, of course, after the necessary virtual machines are created and all the UCC softwares are installed, what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up the instance. Now you are supposed to create the instance in the first Rogger. So this is my Rogger A, and I will go to the UCC tools. I will select the domain manager, and domain manager, you'll see the root is already created. Voice Bootcamp is a facility. TOR is the instance that we're going to use. Now, if in case you are experiencing a problem where domain manager is giving you warning, some sort of root not configured or Active Directory related error, what you want to double check is go to your command prompt and then type who am I, and make sure you are logged in as a domain account. Now, it does not have to be the administrative account, but it should be a domain account that has a necessary privilege to modify the OU in your Active Directory. All right, so my domains are done. What we're going to do next is set up the web setup. Now you only need to do the domain manager, only one UCC server. All right, so first thing we're going to do is add the instance. Since there's only one, we'll just simply accept the default. And I will do the same thing on my side B. I will go to the web setup. This is my side B, by the way. Okay, as you can see, the instance is created on side A. There we go, side A, the instance has been created. And once the instance is created, of course, if you are going to add the router versus logger, for the router, there's not much to require, but for logger, you need to enable the database. So while I activate, so let's go to the router. I will add a new router right now. It's going to be duplex, site A, and these are IP address of my site A and B, the private IP address. So you should make sure those IP addresses are not only correct, but they must be also reachable. So do a quick ping to isolate any troubleshooting that you might face in the future. All right, so this is my public interface, slightly different than the private. And I do actually have a separate subnet for site B. We try to mimic as much as the production as possible. All right, so how many PG? We're going to say 1 to 2 PG for now, or 1 CVP PG, 1 VRU PG. Okay, mix one maybe MR PG in the later. So click next, enable all these options. I'm not going to use the content sharing for now. Okay, QoS, we'll leave it as it is, and we will say start the services. Okay, so while this is taking place, what we want to do is go to the ICM DBA and create the logger database. Now you might get a warning that your computer browser is not functioning or something like that. That is related to the fact that my computer browser service has been disabled. So you see the instances there, you right click, you create, and then you're going to choose logger A, enterprise, site A database, and we're going to create one log file. Okay, so go ahead and click start. It will create the database. As it is creating the database, I can go back to my web setup. It tells you that the router has been successfully set up. I will leave it as it is. I will wait for the database to be created. In the meantime, I will go to site B and do exactly the same thing. So right now I am on site B. Okay, so seems like there's a password problem. Okay, sometimes a keyboard can cause some problems. So what I want to do, type it in Notepad. Okay. That is strange. So let me go to make sure I know what my logging as. Looks fine. Let me just close this, log out and log back in. Sometimes the domain trust may be lost due to snapshots, stuff like that. So you want to double check. As you can see, security database on this server does not match. So that is something to do with the server losing connection to the Active Directory. No worries, we'll fix that right now. What you want to do is log in locally. And simply unregister from the domain and re-register and then reboot the server. That should fix the problem. So we are right now just setting up the component that are required for us the PCC to be deployed. So work group, test, and then we'll put it back to the same domain. Okay, so I will go and put it back in. We have 300 virtual machines, so sometimes we lose track of which one, which snapshots were taken when. It's a nightmare. All right, so we just rejoin the domain. I'm going to reboot. While it's being rebooted, let's just go ahead and complete site A only. So we have the database created. Now, if you want to create the outbound database for outbound predictive dialer, you will select the outbound and choose the database file name, log file name, and create. And as we are creating that, let's go to the web setup. We will go to the logger, Okay, again duplex. Now logger will use private interface to communicate with your router, both side A and the router as well. 192.64.21 31. Sorry, 21 31. It helps you a lot when you remember all your IP address. Now, if the outbound database was not created, you would not be able to select this option called Enable Outbound option. All right, click Next. This is for retention period. We'll just keep it as it is. Scheduling for purging, and we're going to say Start the service. All right, so I have a router A and a logger A in process. In the meantime, go back to side B. As you can see, the server came back up. Let me quickly take a snapshot. So I'm going to delete the old snapshot that I have on this platform box and create a new one. Okay, so we'll call this Fresh Integration November 2018. Click OK, and it should now have a fresh snapshot, so I can always revert back if I need to. All right, so it is still coming up, so let's give it a few minutes. Okay, so I'll use the web setup. Okay, let's see if it works now. There we go. Okay, so we will add the instance, and then we will set up the router first, and then we will do this database. Okay, this is going to be side B, duplex. .192. 11.64.21. Okay, password, sorry, the public address is 6451. No, stay on the page. Okay. So there we go, all the IP addresses are correct. We'll say 1 dash, I think it's 3 we said, right? On the other side. Enable these two. Now we do not have outbound database on this particular server because side B does not allow outbound database. Okay, so let's minimize that, go to the ICM DBA. Again, due to the computer browser being disabled, sometimes it does not, it takes a little time for us to pick it up. You may get a warning about the temporary database. Database it's not proper size. You can expand it if you need to. All right, so I am creating logger B. Okay, so let's go and create that. And while it's creating that, I'll go back to the web setup, successful. So click on logger. You may have to wait sometime. No, it did allow it. So as you can see, site B is automatically selected. We're going to choose 192.11.64.21. .31 for B. Check all this option. Now you notice if I try to click on this, it will tell me that it's only configurable on site A. Okay, because outbound is not available on site B. All right, so let's complete this task. Okay, so I will wait for the database to be finished. Otherwise, I don't want any confusions. Okay, so database has been completed, so I will go and complete the remaining task on this as well. Okay, so this is done. Go back to site A server. As you can see, site A is ready. I have database created. Both of these services are running. All right, so now that's my router logger are completed. Now I'm going to log in to my AW. It is recommended that you should have at least one AW. You don't have to necessarily have two, but you definitely need at least one, depending on, of course, the number of agents that you have. But at any given time, only one AW can be active, or administration server can be active. Okay, seems like database issue again. So it's a strange issue because I thought I just fixed it. Okay, so I will try to log back in. So far good. Again, I need to add this server to the instance and then create the database. So while web page is coming up, I'll make sure, well, I can't even do that. I have to make sure the instance is added first. Okay, so now I will open my ICM DBA to create the database. Now this is going to be the admin server. This is where you do most of your configuration. It's probably a better idea to keep the computer browser enabled. It'll save you some time rather. All right, so I have created I'm about to create my administration data. enterprise. The first one I'm going to create is AW. And then go ahead and create. So while that is being done, I will go to the web. Well, I gotta wait for the HDS database as well. And one last database to create, which will be your HDS. Of course, that is if you want the historical reporting. Okay, so while that database is being created, so let's go to the web setup. We're going to run choose the first option. Now we are going to have a backup, so this is going to be secondary server host name, and this is your primary server host name. The site pair will be, we'll just call it UCCE. Enable this option. This is the IP address, public address of your router and a logger. So make sure the site B's IP address are correct. All right. Okay, so we will go ahead and click on save. While that is being done, we will go to site B, do exactly the same thing. So this is the minimum components that we need to get up running. So pod 1. Okay, so add the instance. While that is being done, we will open up your ICMDB now. Again, computer browser issue. All right, so again, same thing. We will add the database. So now I will create the HDS. Okay, so again, the web setup has to be done. I have to add the administration server as well. So for secondary will be this, primary will be this. It's important that the IP addresses are accurate. Otherwise, you will you'll see the server keep rebooting, or distributor the feed not initialized, stuff like that will pop up from time to time. Okay, so most of my components that are needed are done. If you go to the site A now, so this is my site A. On your desktop, you'll see a new folder called administration. And to set up the PCCE, we need the CCE web administration. So the next video I'll show you how to deploy the UCC solutions as a PCCE type. So that would be it for this particular video chapter.